Okay, so maybe you know this, maybe you don't. I personally never did. I was looking at I was looking at Bitcoin, and I seen that it has some sort of key support and resistance uptrend line. Okay, and that's this white line here. Okay, and you can see how it correlates with it a lot. So back in 2011, it was at what, $30. Then it dropped down to $2. Then it ran up about 2.5 years, went all the way up to about $250. Okay, so you can see it broke out and then it formed a support right here, and it ended up breaking out. Right, so that was essentially that cycle's bull run. Okay, and we rode all the way up to about, I don't know, $1,400 approximately. Then we came back down for a year, broke under this, right? Under this white line, right? That's the key line, okay? Pay attention to that. So as we broke under it, we consolidated for a while, eventually accumulated it up, and then we ended up breaking out for a bull run, okay? So I find it kind of interesting that this is happening almost every cycle, right? The beginning of the cycle is essentially when we break over this white line, right? And I just seen this now. So we eventually broke out. Okay, we were about $1,300, mind you, at the bottom of that. The end of this cycle, at the bottom, we were at $163. Then we finally broke out of it at around $1,200. Okay, once we broke out, we came back down for a retest essentially, and then we continued up for that bull run cycle, and that's when we went to pretty much $20,000. Okay, so after that top, we ended up coming back down, and unlike this area right here, we actually sort of held it. Okay, rather than accumulating down and staying down here and whatnot, and then eventually breaking out. We ended up having a early support for a quick retest almost to the all-time high. Then we didn't have enough strength, so we came back down, right? So this is essentially where we would have been if we would have stayed under this line anyways for an uptrend, right? But that's not what happened. So after all that, we came back down to this trend line, okay? Once we broke back above it or held it as support, that's when the bull run started. I hope I'm explaining this correctly, but essentially when we break out of this, we have a bull run, okay? We broke out, we have a bull run. Here was a bit different because we didn't consolidate like down here, okay? It's basically a minimized version of it, but when we broke out, right, we had a bull run, okay? Now we're back under that. So if you can kind of see where I'm getting at, this is sort of the accumulation stage back in, 2016-ish, right? Right around when Trump got elected, okay? So about $700 when Trump got elected. We were under this trend line, and then we had a bull run, okay? So that being said, we're under this trend line currently, and if Trump gets reelected, okay, this yellow line is the president election. It's November 5th. This is the 4th, close enough. You get what I'm trying to say here. If we mimic this exact accumulation stage, essentially, we should be well over $100,000 by November. My calculations are correct. This is where the bull run will happen, right? And then we'll fall back under this white line. Call me crazy, but I genuinely believe that this is pretty much the beginning of this cycle. I'm calling this is the beginning of the bull run, right? Because after forming this M was essentially a bear trap, okay? This right here was the bear trap, okay? Most people were comfortable enough to feel optimistic here still, but once we created this, essentially making a lower low, as you can see from here, this low is lower than this low, right? So that's a sign of a bear market. But it was a essentially an ABC corrective wave, because we can see here, we can draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? For an A, B, C corrective wave to a continuation of the upside, right? That's essentially what happened here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, three impulses up, then an A, B, C corrective wave to the downside to fake people down because they think that it's going to continue going down. But that's not what happened. It's an ABC corrective wave for a continuation to the upside. So call me crazy, but this yellow horizontal line, let's make it blue now. This blue horizontal line, once we get above it again and retest it for a continuation to the upside, that's essentially your triple confirmation for a bull run, right? Because we have completed the bear trap, and now all we have to do is close above this and retest it, and that's when shit's gonna get crazy. And this white line is going to be the key factor in this bull run. Once we get above this white line is when shit is going to go parabolic, right? And your meme coin dominance is going to increase and your Bitcoin dominance is going to decrease, right? And this is where you'll profit the most when the dominance flips, right? As Bitcoin is going up, it's going to lose dominance. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but that's where you'll make your most money in your alternative coins. Once breaking out of this key uptrend resistance slash support, we then have to maybe come back down to it to retest it for the last leg up. And the end of this leg is the end of the cycle. And from there, we drop back down for the end of the bull run. While everyone's still screaming, 500K, you already exited. You already liquidated your money. And when we come back down, we can maybe hold this, or like the previous other cycles, we go under it. And we stay under that for a while up until to the 2028 bull run. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe for future content.